Shaken yet standing firm. This is Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
Business Buzz is proudly sponsored by insurance agents Michael Webster and Denise Brown from Cayman Insurance Center, specializing in life and property insurance. Don't take chances with your family's future.
And now, The Business Buzz, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment. This is where we address the business topics that matter. Here's your host, Sabrina Turner.
Good morning, Cayman, and welcome to Radio Cayman's Business Buzz. I'm your host, Sabrina Turner, and it's a pleasure to be back. And today we put the spotlight on Beyond Basics Medical Day Spa, hearing more from Dr. Geronimo Jones, General Cosmetic Dermatologist at Beyond Basic Medical Day Spa. The Business Buzz is brought to you every Tuesday and Thursday and is proudly sponsored by Cayman Medical Supplies. Give them a call, 949-6211, and also by Cayman Insurance Center, celebrating 45 years in the Cayman Islands, specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services. Without further ado, Dr. Jones, welcome to our show.
Thank you for having me, Sabrina.
Excited to hear what's going on over there at Beyond Basics Day Spa, and more so, what you bring to that organization. But before we go into the services, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. I'm a general / cosmetic dermatologist from the U.S. I've lived all over parts of the U.S., the U.K., and the Caribbean. I decided to bring my talents here to the Cayman Islands.
There we go. It's a pleasure to have you, and I'm quite sure Miss Jackie and her team is happy to have you on board.
Yes.
So share with us some information on the areas of dermatology that you specialize in.
Well, surprise to many, dermatology doesn't just consist of treating skin disorders. I also treat hair and nail disorders. Mm-hmm. So I treat diseases of skin, hair, and nails, as well as do all cosmetic procedures, such as Botox, fillers, treatment of leg veins, surgery, dealing with the skin, chemical peels. Mm-hmm. So anything with skin, hair, and nails, I can basically manage.
Eczema.
Definitely eczema. That's one of the most common things, acne and eczema.
When Susan stresses me out, mine flares up.
So you have eczema still? Okay.
What do you think customers look for when seeking a dermatologist, though?
Well, especially with the advent of the internet and stuff like that, people mm-hmm. want glowing skin. They want to have skin that they see their friends or even celebrities and stuff have. So I think social media and the internet have sort of raised the bar as to what people want to look like and how they can improve their skin and their health in general.
Now, what main services are offered at Beyond Basics Day Spa?
To be honest with you, it's pretty interesting because everything is offered there. I mean, you have Christina, who's done an excellent job there managing the spa as far as facials, hydrofacials, mm-hmm. chemical peels, laser hair removal. And then with me coming in, I can deal more so with the skin diseases and mm-hmm. the skin disorders. So everything it basically can be dealt with under one roof.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, when you look at the Caribbean as a whole, what have you seen presenting itself most commonly in comparison to other countries?
It's interesting because I practiced in the British Virgin Islands for almost 12 years. So the demographic of the patients, you had lighter patients and darker patients, was even. So we had a lot of expats that I used to treat. But the main thing I would treat as complications of chronic sun exposure, mm-hmm. such as skin cancer, sun damage. But then you also see, the bread and butter, such as acne, right. eczema, even psoriasis, mm-hmm. but definitely treatment of a lot of sun damage and skin cancers.
Okay. What should be the main goal and expectations of a person visiting a dermatologist?
My thing is to have reasonable expectations because a lot of what you see online and on television is just not possible.
A lot of filters going on here.
Yeah, definitely, especially products that they sell
Yes.
that just don't work. I mean, they're selling creams to remove varicose veins and creams to remove cellulite, which physiologically is not possible. And also treatment as far as cosmetic procedures. A lot of things that you see advertised aren't possible. So the thing is to have reasonable expectations, have those small goals met, and then you're much happier as a patient.
What are the most requested dermatologist services that people ask for when they visit?
The most, you definitely see your bread and butter, such as eczema, acne, patients with keloids, treatment of complications of sun damage, such as wrinkles and sunspots. But those are the basic things that I see on a regular basis.
Now here, it's the Caribbean. We're always exposed to the sunlight and other elements, of course. And you usually find that darker toned people, even the gentlemen out in the construction industry, what tips would you give those persons who find themselves working in the elements or just out there because we're darker skin tone? We don't feel that we need to necessarily wear protective gear and, let's say, the necessary lotions.
See, that's interesting because most people with darker skin don't feel they need to wear sunblock, which is not true. Darker skin, we are naturally born with a 15 SPF, which is a sun protection factor. So there is sun protection, and that's why you don't see darker skin wrinkling as much as lighter skin.
Okay.
But I think the main concern that people have, or main excuse why they don't feel that they need to wear sun protection is because, darker skin doesn't get skin cancer. Which it's true because not true, but it's less likely to get it when you're darker. But you still can get sun damage. So there's a distinction between skin cancer and sun damage. So although you might not necessarily be protecting yourself against skin cancer, which is much more rare in darker skin, you can protect yourself against sun damage. So you do need to wear sunblock and sunscreen,
despite you being a darker tone.
Despite you being a darker, because you can get. The sun can damage your collagen. It can make you look older than you regularly look. So I recommend even people with darker skin, you can use it as a moisturizer. There's sunblocks that come in the form of moisturizers.
Now, are there particular skin issues or conditions that are more likely to arise in person living in the Caribbean versus someone who's living in colder countries? Yes,
because back to sun damage. Especially Cayman. The sun is pretty strong here. You have pretty strong UV rays here. But yeah, you like I said, you can get damage to your collagen, hyperpigmentation, fine wrinkles, and that doesn't just occur in lighter skin. It can occur in darker skin due to the strong UV waves here in the Cayman Islands.
Now, some people are under the misconception of on cloudy days. Like, it's a perfect day to go to the beach because it's overcast and the sun is not out there. But there's still damage can be done. You can still get a sunburn even when it's overcast. Absolutely, because that's another misnomer.
The sun damage that you get from the sun is not from the rays that you see. It's rays called ultraviolet rays. You can't see ultraviolet rays. And ultraviolet rays penetrate through clouds, reflect off of water, reflect off of the road. So you're not really getting the damage from the sun rays that you see.
It's what it's reflecting off of.
Not necessarily reflecting off of, but it's what you can't see. You can't see UV light, and UV light is what causes sun damage, and UV light is what causes skin cancers. Now, the visible light from the sun, that is what's actually causing your tan. Yeah.
But the damage comes from the UV.
Yeah, and you can't see the UV. So if it's overcast, it's still overcast. Yeah. And that's why I even have patients download, and I even have it on my phone, it's a UV index. So it might be overcast, but your UV rays can still be in the extreme.
So when you listen to the weather report, maybe that's something Susan can add in, huh?
That actually would be a very good idea.
Yes.
I actually have an alarm on my phone, and it tells me when the UV rays, it actually goes off like an alarm. It tells me when the UV rays reach very high here in Cayman.
Right. Yeah. And so I guess heat index will come into that. Maybe that's something we can speak with the guys over there at the weather station. You're in tune to Radio Cayman's Business Buzz. I'm your host, Sabrina Turner, as we put the spotlight on Beyond Basic Medical Day Spa, speaking with Dr. Geronimo Jones, who is General Cosmetic Dermatologist at Beyond Basic Medical Day Spa. Keep it locked to the Business Buzz for more when we come back.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, sponsored by Cayman National Bank. Visit Cayman National Bank today for all of your financial needs. The Cayman Islands, he hath founded it upon the seas.
Alfred Biddle Bawden, JP. Alfred Bawden was affectionately known as AB. He worked as a seaman for some years and sent money home to support his family. Upon returning from sea, he started his own business, a general store. He was also a farmer and butcher, cultivating various crops to provide for his family and help the poor, while also creating jobs for members of his community. He was elected vestryman for the District of Bordentown in 1948 and served 2 terms in the Assembly. He was one of the first merchants in Bordentown and the first in the island to obtain a liquor license. He traveled to Jamaica to sign the trade agreement to export thatch rope. A member of the Bordentown Church of God Chapel, he gave financial support to the churches of the district as well as to the less fortunate.
Radio Cayman's historical facts vignettes are proudly brought to you by Cayman National, with branches on all 3 Cayman Islands. Visit Cayman National Bank today for all of your financial needs.
When you need stability, think Business of the Year.
Considering a new career opportunity, think Best Place to Work.
When dependability matters, think Outstanding Workforce.
In need of a reliable financial partner, think Bank of the Year.
When you seek excellence, think Cayman National.
No matter how many accomplishments we achieve, we always set the bar higher. That's why we are the most awarded bank in Cayman, and we are proud to be your
2018 Bank of the Year.
Oh gosh.
Don't let the stress of taking care of loved ones get you down.
Home care, now made easier with Cayman Medical Supplies. 100% Caymanian owned. Cayman Medical Supplies now stocks a wide range of home care supplies. Hospital beds, all types of wheelchairs, including beach access wheelchairs, lifts, commodes, shower chairs, walkers, Curad brand orthopedic supplies. Free blood glucose monitors with the purchase of 1 pack of test strips, blue underpads, and a whole lot more.
Need home care convenience? Drop by Cayman Medical Supplies at 93 Smith Road, Windward Center, or call 949-6211. Free delivery.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz, the business topics that matter, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment. Business Buzz.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz as we keep the spotlight on Beyond Basics Medical Day Spa with Dr. Jones, who's General Cosmetic Dermatologist at Beyond Basics. For more information, you can feel free to give them a call, 945-2737, or visit their website, www.beyondbasics.ky. Now, let's talk a little bit about UV, because we went off just before that. We were talking about UVs. Tell us about the UV photo and skin screening assessment that is being offered at Beyond Basics.
Okay, so what we have is a modified camera that can pick up sun damage on your skin that you can't see with the visible eye. Mm-hmm. And it deals with the light spectrum. So there's visible light that you can see. And then there are other forms of light like infrared light and ultraviolet light that you can't see. Now, when you put a UV camera on someone and you flash ultraviolet light on them, you can see sun damage on their skin that they can't see. So you can see spots under their skin that they might not see. Mm-hmm. You can see precancerous lesions that they might not see. You can see sun damage that they might not see. And it sort of gives them a window into what's going on underneath their skin.
Right.
It's a technology that more photographers use than dermatologists, but I was inspired by a video that I saw on YouTube one day, and it's been a process because it's a thing where to harness UV light indoors is very difficult.
Right.
I mean, it's easy if I'm outside with the camera. I can just go up to people and show them a picture of with visible light and with UV light. But I've gotten the equipment over some years and developed it so that we can do it indoors and show them how their skin looks with visible light and how their skin looks under ultraviolet light.
What do you think is the biggest misconception overall in how to care for your skin? Not understanding that a lot of people just take it for granted that it is an organ.
It's the largest organ in the body.
Yeah.
And you just need to take care of it like any other organ. You need to keep your skin hydrated. You need to drink lots of water. You need to avoid things that can affect your skin, such as cigarette smoking, alcohol, sun damage, processed foods. What happens with people's skin that gets damaged, and the easiest way to break it down is, people always ask me, what are antioxidants? I hear antioxidants are good for your skin. Okay, that's true. What damages your skin in any organ is something called free radicals. Now, to break it down in the simplest form, imagine this room that we're sitting in now if it was glass all around it, all around us. And I took a sledgehammer and started breaking all that glass around us. That's what a free radical is. What an antioxidant is something that will take the hammer out my hand so you can't break any more glass.
Okay.
And there are a lot of things that you can do for antioxidants and things you don't even need a doctor to do. It could be food that you eat. It could be stop drinking alcohol or stop smoking cigarettes or processed foods or pollution. So there's a lot of things you have control over for glowing. And then there's the genetic part. But there's a lot of things that you can control yourself.
Now, it wouldn't be fair for me to have a conversation with you being a dermatologist and not go into bleaching.
Yes.
Now, back in the day, our parents used to use Noxzema.
Well, okay. They still use Noxzema for a lot of things.
Right. But it has gone to a different level now when you actually are mixing up concoctions to get paler skin.
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
Yeah.
I've looked at documentaries on this and the warnings are out there.
Yeah.
But it's becoming more and more prevalent. And this is all ages and all genders.
Yes. I went to University of West Indies. And my time in Jamaica, I saw it. I saw it quite frequently. And, and not just Jamaica, but, other islands I've lived on. They sell these bleaching creams. You can buy them in the supermarket or a pharmacy. And people don't realize how they're really damaging their skin. And it's two things that they use to bleach their skin. It's a combination with either steroids or something called a hydroquinone. And what happens is I can always tell when someone's bleaching. They'll lie to me, but I know. And I'm sure you've seen the signs where people have dark knuckles or their lips are dark.
Their lips.
Yeah. Or they even have dark patches on their face.
They can't put it right.
Yeah. Well, what happens when you use these bleaching creams, the cells called melanocytes, it suppresses them. So they do look lighter initially, but anything that you suppress over a prolonged period of time, it's just going to go berserk. So what happens is a lot of times these people suppress these pigment cells, and then they just go berserk, and you'll see those areas where they get darker.
Yes.
That damage is permanent. So I've had plenty of patients come to me where they have, I'm sure you've seen it, where they have the dark spots on their cheeks, the knuckles are dark, and they're like, Doc, can you give me something to bleach this? And I tell them, no, this is a result from you bleaching. So what do? They go to another doctor who gives them a bleaching cream, which ends up making it darker. And then they use the bleaching cream more because it's getting darker. So it's a vicious cycle. And then you have to understand, just like with darker people, that melanin is protective against skin cancer. So when you destroy that melanin, you're sort of destroying your protection against the sun. So it's a lot of consequences from using the bleaching creams, and I can't stress enough for people not to purchase them. And also, they're purchasing bleaching creams that aren't from a legitimate pharmaceutical company. I mean, I've seen some of these creams in the store. You don't even know the language that's on the cream.
But some of them are homemade as well.
Yeah, they do the homemade stuff, but it's just sad when you see someone who does that for social reasons. But then again, when they do something to their skin that's irreversible and I can't treat.
Right.
And when those patients come to me, and I don't even charge them. I say, look, this is what you have. This is what caused it. I suggest you not use bleaching creams anymore.
Has anybody ever did a study to find out how much people may have died because of long exposure to bleaching? Has anybody really looked at it? Or complications from it?
Well, definitely complications. There are some papers on, the condition is called exogenous ochronosis. Anyone that wants to look it up, exogenous ochronosis. And that's due to long-term suppression of the pigment cells and where you get hyperpigmentation. And it's just permanent. I mean, when you see people there, they don't believe you. So what do? They go get more bleaching cream, and it gets darker. So it's something that's very prevalent. I've seen it probably on every island I've worked, Barbados, Trinidad, Jamaica, Virgin Islands, even in the UK, the African population there.
But they have products as well that you can ingest, like pills and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, they do have pills that you can ingest. It's ridiculous. I mean, you have to ask yourself why you're bleaching your skin. I mean, it's different when you come to me and you have a scar that you want lighter, or you have scars from acne or from some type of trauma. But I would never give a patient a medication to bleach their entire skin. As a matter of fact, if I do apply a bleaching cream, I literally tell you to put it on with a toothpick or a cotton swab just to the area. Never suggested a patient bleach their whole skin.
Now, thank you for that information, and we hope that persons will take heed for this so that we can break this weird cycle.
Absolutely.
Now, let's talk a little bit about my favorite, but not eczema, because I'm quite sure a lot of people suffer from this. What is it, and how can it be treated?
Well, eczema, to put it simply, it's certain cells in your skin that are hyper responsive to anything. Okay? And these cells cause your skin to itch. Now, people that have eczema, if you never touched the area that itched, you would never get a rash from eczema. People don't realize that. If you had on boxing gloves and you couldn't scratch an area that has eczema, you would never know that you had eczema. You would never break out in a rash. But what happens is, people with eczema have these cells that cause the skin to itch and that are more sensitive to stuff than other people. So it causes sort of a vicious cycle. They itch, they scratch, it gets dry. Because it's dry, it itches, so you scratch. So it's just a vicious cycle that you find yourself in. So what we do is you want to always keep your skin moist with eczema, and then in outbreaks when it's really bad, a topical steroid and maybe an antihistamine. But that's the thing that people don't know. If you never touch the areas where you had eczema, you would never know you had a rash there. They just itch, so you scratch them. They become more dry. Because they're dry, they itch, so you scratch, and it's just a cycle that
keeps repeating itself. Dr. Jones, we're going to take our final break. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit about misconceptions that customers may have when it comes to seeking out a dermatologist, monitoring the changes in mold, skin tags, and even birthmarks. So you got to keep it locked to the Business Buzz for more after these few messages.
Don't take chances with your family's future or your valuable assets. Always be prepared and ensure your family is provided for. Cayman Insurance Center specializes in life, property, motor, health, and liability at the most competitive premiums and affordable rates on island. Call Michael Webster today at 925-5433 for life insurance, or Denise Brown at 814-7229 for property insurance. Call them today for all your insurance needs.
Summertime is when Cayman Airways is full of people at travel to Jamaica. If you're late for checking your flight, you will lose your seat. Remember now, check-in time for Cayman Airways flight is 2 hours before departure. Make sure you're not late.
Radio Cayman, maintaining the innovation.
On a daily basis, making it easy to connect with you, our listeners. Add us to WhatsApp today, 925-3261. That's 925-3261.
Radio Cayman.
Send a text or voice note.
Can I send a request, please?
You don't really have to ask us. Just send a request.
This is a shout out to my ex.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman, maintaining the innovation.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz, the business topics that matter, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment.
Cayman's Business Buzz.
Continuing with the Business Buzz and keeping the spotlight on Beyond Basics Medical Day Spa, Business Buzz is proudly sponsored by Cayman Medical Supplies and Cayman Insurance Center. Now let's talk a little bit about the biggest misconceptions that customers may have when it comes to seeking out a dermatologist.
I think the number one misconception is I always get patients to say that, they didn't want to come see me because they know insurance doesn't cover their visit, which is not true. I mean, I'm a doctor before I'm a dermatologist. So insurance does cover your dermatology consultations. Now, what it's not going to cover if you want something cosmetically done, it's not going to cover.
Right.
And I do get those questions. Will insurance cover my Botox? And I'm like, no. But if they do, let me know what company you're with, because. But yeah, that's probably the biggest misconception. And then also, just like I said, I'm a doctor before I'm a dermatologist. So I mean, you can ask me medical questions when you're there for your dermatology visit. So I can treat your cold and treat your hypertension, your diabetes, just as well as any GP. So.
It's just not about skin with you.
No, it's not just about skin. Yeah, that's another misconception too. It's treatment of hair disorders such as hair loss. There are a lot of causes of hair loss, especially in women, that are treatable if you seek me early.
Okay.
And I've had patients, women that have had hair loss for years, and I'm like, well, why didn't you see me years ago? And they said, I was hoping it would get better. But the sooner you come, especially with something like hair loss, the easier it is to treat. As well as, nail disorders. Nail disorders take a little longer to treat because the rate at which nails grow. And usually when you treat a nail disorder, you have to wait for the nail to grow out. But the sooner you come, especially with those two areas of your body, the sooner you'll get results.
Okay. Now let's talk about changes in moles, skin tags, and birthmarks. How vital is it to conduct regular skin checks to monitor these types of things?
Well, I recommend people with lighter skin tones, especially dealing in this type of environment in Cayman with the UV index and the sun exposure. Lighter skins have a skin check once a year. But anyone that has a mole where there's a change in shape, size, color, to have it checked out. Because it's a misconception. I mean, darker skin can get skin cancer. It's less likely, but you can.
Can get it.
And the one thing people never realize is, Bob Marley died from a melanoma. So you could easily think, okay, I have a darker complexion. We don't get melanoma. It's just a mole. And when you do get melanomas in darker skin, they tend to be more aggressive and dangerous.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. How important is one's diet to skin health?
Extremely important. Extremely important. And just like I said earlier about antioxidants, you want to eat foods that are high in antioxidants to prevent that hammer from breaking the glasses, and the glass being your cells. So you can Google it. There are lists of foods that you can eat that will actually help your skin look better.
What can be done to slow down the signs of aging on our skin? Everyone wants to keep that youthful.
True.
Lines, crow's feet. We don't want them.
I recommend, to be honest with you, whether or not you have acne or not. One, you always want to keep your skin moist. You do want to do a skin regimen. You do want to limit your ultraviolet light exposure, no matter what your complexion is. But the main thing is to get into a regimen, to moisturize, possibly a cream that we call Retin-A. It's used for acne, but it also can help, prevent fine lines in people, can help people's skin glow. One thing Christina has done at Beyond Basics is she definitely has done her research, so she has a lot of products there that can put people on the regimen. It's not just for women. I mean, men can get on regimens. She knows more about that stuff actually than me, so I'm still learning from her. But she has, excellent supply there, and excellent knowledge. If you can get her when she's not busy, she'll be more than happy to take you through it.
Well, that's a golden nugget right there, when she's not busy.
Yeah, she's always busy. But
now, are walk-ins acceptable, so persons need to make appointments if they want to be seen at Beyond Basics?
It's better to make an appointment, but we do take walk-ins. And as long as I'm not busy with the patient or doing something, we try and see you right away. I mean, it's definitely one of the more efficient places I've worked, where patients really don't wait. I mean, if your appointment is at 10 o'clock, you'll be seen at 10 o'clock.
Okay. Now, Beyond Basics is located at number 9 Walkers Road, which is the 3rd floor of Tomlinson's building right here in Georgetown, the 4-way junction by the hospital. Dr. Jones, is there anything you would like to leave with us? Quick recap in a wrap-up.
Just that, a dermatologist doesn't just treat skin disorders. You can treat nail and hair disorders. Like I said, I'm also a doctor, so any other situations you come in, they can be managed. Insurance is accepted. At least for now, walk-ins are available. And, like I said, Beyond Basics Medical Day Spa, everything can be done in-house, from general dermatology procedures to cosmetic and laser procedures, as well as there's a huge supply of products for anyone that desires a skin regimen. Okay,
Dr. Jones, it was a pleasure speaking with you, and thank you for allowing us to put the spotlight on Beyond Basics and speaking more about dermatology. We were very informed, and I hope that persons will take away a lot of great things from this, and not other, if nothing else, definitely stop by Beyond Basics to hear more and ask more questions. Again, we want to wish you and your team over there best of luck.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. Stay tuned for more of the Business Buzz after the 8 o'clock news, sports and weather update. Over to you, Susan.
Thank you, Sabrina. And studio time now by Price Right is a minute after 8.
Price Right is Grand Cayman's warehouse shopping superstore, making your dollar go further with huge savings and no membership fees. Get more of the things you use every day at the right price. But it's not just grocery and health and beauty. Price Right has a full range of products, from office to automotive, patio furnishings to kitchen appliances, and even electronics. And since warehouse prices mean savings for you, everything is priced right at Price Right, Grand Cayman's warehouse shopping superstore. Access and information. Your community. News and information. Radio Cayman is your choice, your voice for today's biggest news. Radio Cayman.
With your latest news, I'm Karsley Fuller. The Central Caribbean Marine Institute is looking for nominations for their People's Choice Awards, which will be announced at the annual Festival of the Seas Awards and Gala event. According to a CCMI statement, nominees are chosen and voted on by members of the public. An individual and a company or organization must have made significant positive impacts on the marine environment in the Cayman Islands from the 1st of January last year through June 30th of this year. The Marine Institute will recognize 2 People's Choice Award winners at the annual Festival of the Seas Gala, which is taking place on November 16th at the Grand Old House. You can find the nomination forms at reefresearch.org. You can submit a nomination now through August 14th. After the nomination period has closed, CCMI will contact the nominees to confirm their attendance of the nomination. Voting for the winners will take place online September 16th through the 29th. And June wraps up with more than 100 new properties listed for sale with Sabrina member real estate companies. Radio Cayman's April Cummings has more.
A quick overview of the real estate market shows 1,482 active listings as of June 30th, with 112 new listings coming on board, 74 sales, and 27 pending sales. That's according to the Cayman Islands Real Estate Brokers Association. There are 859 active residential properties, 10 less than May, and the average list price just over $1.358 million U.S. The average time on the market, well, it's up a bit from 493 days to 497. Land remains the second largest category, with 544 active listings on the market for 855 days and an average list price of $626,000 U.S. dollars. When it comes to single-family homes, at the end of June, there were 246 single-family homes on the market, with an average list price of just over $2 million U.S. dollars, and 560 condos. The average list price there, $1.1 million. This data does not include private sales or transactions outside of the Cayman Islands Real Estate Brokers Association. Sariba has 35 active members and 224 brokers and agents. April Cummings, Radio Cayman News.
In regional news, former permanent secretary in the Jamaican Education Ministry, Dean Roy Bernard, has filed a court application seeking to block the government from filling the post from which he was reassigned in February this year. Bernard has since been working in the finance ministry as director general. In a statement in February announcing the reassignment, the Education Ministry did not say why he was reassigned. It also provided no explanation to queries, only restating that Bernard was now at the finance ministry. However, the ministry noted that Chief Education Officer Dr. Grace McLean would be appointed acting permanent secretary. Bernard has confirmed that he has initiated a court action but declined to reveal the details. He told the Jamaica Gleaner, quote, "There is an application before the court for a review of the matter of my reassignment to the Ministry of Finance. It's understood that he's contending that there is no position in the Ministry of Finance titled Director General." Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which will take us out of the newscast. I'm Karsley Fuller from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
BBC News with Jerry Smith. Protest leaders in Hong Kong have reacted angrily to a speech by the territory's leader, Carrie Lam, in which he said a controversial extradition bill was dead, but didn't officially withdraw it. A prominent activist, Joshua Wong, called her a habitual liar who had failed to respond to weeks of demonstrations. The US envoy to Afghanistan, Zalmay Khalilzad, has welcomed an outline for peace talks drawn up by Afghan representatives and the Taliban at a meeting in Qatar. The militants have agreed not to attack religious centres, schools, hospitals, markets and workplaces. Oxfam has urged governments in West Africa to use their growing wealth to tackle inequality, warning that the problem is at crisis levels. The aid agency says the region needs to commit to progressive taxation, more social spending and better job prospects. 47 migrants rescued in the Mediterranean have been allowed to disembark from an Italian patrol boat on the island of Sicily. They arrived hours before a planned ceremony in Sicily, marking the closure of what was once the biggest migrant reception centre in Europe. China has urged the United States to revoke a planned arms sale to Taiwan. Beijing described the weapons deal, worth more than $2 billion, as a crude interference in China's internal affairs. BBC News.
Access information. What's happening in your community? News and information, music and more. You can find us. www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Radio Cayman is your choice, your voice for today's biggest news. Radio Cayman.
From happy beginnings to happy ever after,
Brit K protects your lifestyle with the best insurance cover at the best possible price.
Health insurance with far-reaching benefits.
95% of claims settled in 5 days.
Low-cost life insurance.
And investments.
Security in retirement.
With a custodian pension plan.
For happy beginnings and a happy ever after,
visit BritK.ky or call 949-8699.
BritK, where people come first.
The Tuesday and Thursday edition of The Business Buzz is brought to you by Cayman Medical Supplies, providing quality pharmaceuticals, medical supplies, and consumer products to healthcare providers, retailers, and ultimately the patients at a reasonable rate in a friendly, caring, and timely manner. Cayman Medical Supplies is located at number 93 Smith Road, Windward Center. Telephone 949-6211.
The Weather Report is proudly sponsored by Super Stitch Sewing and Fabric Center, your one-stop household store at 39 Pasador Place, Smith Road. Still offering the best prices in town. Call 949-2833 or go to superstitch.com.ky.
New stock has just arrived at Super Stitch. Now don't take my word for it. Drop by and see for yourself. Fresh off the boat, we have loads of fabric, vinyl upholstery fabric, fabric for cushions, outdoor fabrics, and dress fabric. That's not all. Super Stitch has sewing accessories and craft items. Included in the new shipment, you will find sheets, comforters, throw pillows, bath mats, rugs, and curtains for every room in your home. Super Stitch, 39 Pasador Place, Smith Road. Still offering the best price in town. Call 949-2833 or go to superstitch.com.ky.
Good morning. Time now for the latest weather report. Current temperature is 82 degrees. Relative humidity is 95%. Barometric pressure 29.99 inches and rising. Winds are calm. Overnight low temperature was 77 degrees. Synopsis indicate cloudiness and showers associated with an upper level trough northeast of the Cayman area will move into the area today as the trough slowly retrogresses west. Radar images show isolated showers in and around the Cayman area moving west. Now the forecast for today calling for partly cloudy skies becoming cloudy at times with a 40% chance of showers and possible thunder. Showers will be locally heavy at times and temperatures will be in the upper 80s today. Your winds will be east at 5 knots or less and seas will be smooth to slight with wave heights of less than 2 feet. Forecast for tonight calling for partly cloudy skies becoming cloudy at times with a 40% chance of showers and possible thunder, especially over Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Showers will be locally heavy at times and temperatures falling to the upper 70s tonight. Winds will be east to southeast 5 knots or less and seas will be smooth to slight with wave heights of less than 2 feet for tonight. Low tide will be this morning at 10:14, high tide this evening at a minute after 5, and a low tide again tonight at 10:57. The sun will set this evening at 6 minutes past 7 and will rise tomorrow morning at 5:55. And the outlook is calling for similar weather conditions through Wednesday evening as the upper level trough lingers over the northwest Caribbean.
Superstitch Sewing and Fabric Center was the proud sponsor of the Weather Report, your one-stop shop for all of your household items, craft items, jewelry, beads, and decorations, and much more. Call Superstitch at 949-2833 or email customer care at superstitch.com.ky.
New stock has just arrived at Superstitch. Now don't take my word for it. Drop by and see for yourself. Fresh off the boat, we have loads of fabric, vinyl upholstery fabric, fabric for cushions, outdoor fabrics, and dress fabric. That's not all. Superstitch has sewing accessories and craft items. Included in the new shipment, you will find sheets, comforters, throw pillows, bath mats, rugs, and curtains for every room in your home. Superstitch, 39 Pasadora Place, Smith Road. Still offering the best price in town. Call 949-2833 or go to superstitch.com.ky.
Good morning once again. Let's take a look what's happening on our roads. Shamrock Road and Linford Pearson Highway, steady but flowing traffic. Traffic also steady coming off of Agnes Way off the Linford Pearson Highway. Cool Road, little busy traffic in some sections, other sections, and Cool Road, steady. And coming from the Westway 4-way stop, light to moderate traffic flow in both directions. Godfrey Nixon Way and Eastern Avenue, traffic flow moderately. Owen Roberts Drive, no issues there as traffic is light to moderate. On the West Bay Road, little steady traffic in both directions, especially from the Ritz, but nothing to worry about too much. On Huldah Avenue, traffic is steady, and Thomas Russell Way, moderate flow of traffic. If you see any accidents or incidents on Cayman's roads, give us a call here at Radio Cayman, 949-6090. Have a good morning and buckle up.
There are plenty of reasons to be a Logic customer. There's lightning-fast internet connectivity. There's the great overall customer experience. And now, you can improve your Wi-Fi connectivity with Logic Boost Wi-Fi for free. With Boost, you can extend your freedom to stream, game, and download seamlessly anywhere in your home, like your patio or your underground lair if you have one. Sign up now for any Logic Bundle package and get free Boost Wi-Fi for a limited time. Visit logic.ky for details.
If your business is over here, but your customers are over here, adding more yellow to your business will bring you both right here. With everyone searching yellows, print, online, and mobile app, getting your business noticed is easier than ever. Book your consultation today at findyellow.com.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz, the business topics that matter, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment.
Good morning and welcome back to the second segment of today's edition of the Business Buzz right here on Radio Cayman, that is proudly sponsored by Cayman Medical Supplies and Cayman Insurance Centre. In this segment, I'm pleased to put the spotlight and hear more about Life Cayman. Welcome to studios, Miss Marilyn Conley, Executive Director of Literacy is for Everyone, and that's Life Cayman. Good morning, Miss Marilyn. It's a pleasure to have you on our show.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here.
Now tell us and give us some background details on your organization.
Well, Life is Cayman's literacy charity. We are currently the only charity on island that focuses exclusively on issues of literacy. And that is because we recognize how important that is to the underlying development of all of our children, to a brighter future for Cayman.
So share with us a little on the mission and the benefits of improving literacy levels across the Cayman Islands.
Sure, if I can give a little bit of history and background, because that's where the mission came from. Life was initially set up in 2012 by a group of Sunrise Rotarians who, like members of any service club on island, want to do good by giving back to the community. Mm-hmm. But what they found in their literacy activities is that, yes, they were making impacts in certain areas, but the problem was so huge that they wanted to be able to make a wider, more impactful contribution to turn things around. And so that's why Life was set up in 2012. So the mission of Life coming out of that need to make impactful change is essentially to increase literacy levels across the entire Cayman Islands for people from all walks of life. We feel that improving literacy levels, education levels, will impact people's ability to contribute to society and their standard of living.
What is literacy then?
Well, there have been many, many discussions about literacy, and if you Google it, you'll find any number of specific definitions. Literacy is the ability to use words to communicate, and that's the most simplest explanation I can offer. It's the ability to communicate with each other, reading street signs, telling you how I'm feeling today if I'm a 7-year-old child. It's the ability to decode information that is in front of you. If you're reading a math question, it's the ability to understand the words that tells you what is being asked of you, and to understand what is being asked of you. So it's not just about seeing something and being able to sound out letters. It's about understanding, reading comprehension.
Which leads into this, in asking, what role then does language play in the development of children's learning?
It's very key, and Cayman being a mixed community, there are other questions around that that link into whether or not it matters if children are using English versus Spanish versus many of the other languages that can be found here. And it is beneficial for children to speak multiple languages. There might be an initial difficult situation for them handling multiple languages, but they do get through it, and it is overall very much an enhancer for their development as a child. But language is very, very important. It's how we communicate with each other. It's how we're communicating right now and communicating this message to the wider public. It's if you've ever seen a young child frustrated when they're trying to communicate something, it's almost as if the words are in their heads,
but they can't get it out.
They can't get it out. And that can be extremely frustrating for the child, although we might not know what words are in their head. But, imagine if you lost your voice and you don't have anything to write with.
It's frustrating.
It is frustrating. And obviously people who cannot speak or born without the ability to speak find other ways to adapt. They use sign language. You find other ways to adapt in society. But language is key in a child's development. It's absolutely essential that they know what words to use, how to use it, when to use it.
What is the literacy rate in the Cayman Islands, Marilyn?
That is a tricky question to answer. There's not one particular rate. Mm-hmm. So we have a very close working relationship with the Ministry of Education. Our role at Life as a charity is to work in partnership with them to fill any gaps that they have identified within their systems where we need support. We believe that working together, we can achieve more and make the system stronger. Okay. So the system is what we have, and we have to work with it and strengthen it for our children. So we do know that the Compass reported back in May 2017 that 4 out of 10 children were leaving primary school reading lower than the required level. That's 4 out of 10, 40% of our children leaving year 6. That in itself is shocking. It doesn't seem like a big number, 40%, but when our community is so small and you look at individual children, you're looking at Marilyn, you're looking at Sabrina. Why can't they read when they leave primary school? And we do know that in the U.S., 2 out of 3 children who can't read proficiently by the end of year 5, for us it would be year 5, they're grade 4, end up in jail or welfare. So that's 2/3 of children who can't read well. And then so we ask, so what if the problem is just left alone? What if we just don't intervene and just let the system try to work it through? Well, what we've also found is anywhere from 74 to 92%, we've seen different figures of children, if they can't read by the end of grade 3, which is year 4, will still be at that same proficiency level by the end of year 10, which is grade 9. So it is not an issue that we can leave alone and hope that it gets better. So when we talk about literacy rates, we look at the data that the Ministry of Education provides. What we have seen is that there has been a slight improvement since the Compass report of 2017. They reported on data from the schools in 2018 as well. But we haven't really delved into the details of literacy levels because we want to focus, while the data is there showing, it shows that children are underperforming. Right. That is evident. So now that we know that, why are they underperforming? What are the gaps? What do teachers need in hand to help them? Yes. What does the system need? What does the leadership need to help them? And how can we as a charity provide that in a meaningful way? This is not just about showing up to schools and dropping off books or taking a picture. There's a lot of work that happens behind those pictures.
So let's talk, and let's hope that when you deal with the paired reading programs, and I'm going to ask you to go and tell us more about that, that this will shed a different light then, or begin to open it up a little bit more as to what you all do, your organization do. So share some details with us on your paired reading programs that are in partnership with the Ministry of Education and schools.
Yes, we run several types of programs to fill those gaps. And one of our most popular programs is where we bring volunteers in from the community to spend 30 minutes once a week reading with a child who needs reading assistance, who's struggling. It's popular because it makes the reader feel good about themselves, and it makes the child feel good about themselves, and it makes the teachers happy that the child is getting assistance. Right. So this is a win-win-win situation for everyone. We have over 130 fantastic volunteers from the community, wonderful readers who give of their lunch times. Typically, it's done over the lunch times at schools all around Grand Cayman. And they come in and they spend 30 minutes once a week reading with the child. The children get really excited when they know that, my reader, Miss Sabrina, is coming this week, and they look out for them. Oh. They really look forward to it. Sometimes you get more shy children that are a little bit more shy, and sometimes you get a massive hug when you walk in. But they really look forward to it. And what that provides is 30 minutes of reading activity once a week. So you sit down with the child. We give all of our volunteers reading strategies, basic reading strategies to use, because we have people who don't have children or are not literacy experts. By the way, we are not literacy experts.
Okay.
We are a charity that focuses on supporting the literacy experts. Okay. But, people come in from all walks of life, to spend 30 minutes with a child. So oftentimes improvements can be seen by the end of the school year. Most times they can be seen as a child improves over the course of the reading sessions, but sometimes it takes more than a school year. We've had instances where a teacher has reported back to the reader 2 years later, or one school year later, that the child has finally hit that mark where they're improving.
Wow.
Sometimes you just keep going, and then something clicks. And then after that, they make it.
Well, kudos to your team and all the persons who volunteer to give assistance to your organization.
Yes, I mean, we really have a wide cross-section of people, and we could not run that program without our volunteers. And to me, that is representative of how we run all of our programs. We run our programs in partnership with members of the community. Okay. So, for example, right now, on our Facebook page, you will see a post that says Summer has begun for life, because we've started our partnership with the YMCA summer camp. So Life provides readers to read every morning, 4 days a week at the camp, for their youngest little readers. And that's read aloud time.
So your summer is not off jet setting somewhere. Your summer is actually partnering with another organization.
Absolutely. But we love partnering with other organizations. We love spreading the message of literacy. We love putting books in front of children and encouraging children to read.
Okay. You're in tune to Radio Cayman's Business Buzz, that is proudly sponsored by Cayman Medical Supplies and Cayman Insurance Centre. Speaking with Miss Marilyn Connolly and putting the spotlight on Life Cayman. The acronym LIFE stands for Literacy is for Everyone. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll hear more from Miss Marilyn on Life Cayman.
Oh gosh.
Don't let the stress of taking care of loved ones get you down.
Home care, now made easier with Cayman Medical Supplies. 100% Caymanian owned. Cayman Medical Supplies now stocks a wide range of home care supplies. Hospital beds, all types of wheelchairs, including beach access wheelchairs, lifts, commodes, shower chairs, walkers, Curad brand orthopedic supplies. Free blood glucose monitors with the purchase of 1 pack of test strips, blue underpads, and a whole lot more.
Need home care convenience? Drop by Cayman Medical Supplies at 93 Smith Road, Windward Center, or call 949-6211. Free delivery.
What do we love more than summertime? Extra flights between Cayman and Jamaica with Cayman Airways, of course. Cayman Airways has added extra flights weekly for travel between Grand Cayman and Kingston this July and August. Visit family and friends in Jamaica or send for them to visit you in Cayman. But hurry, these extra seats will sell out fast, so book yours today. Remember now, check-in time is 2 hours before departure. Call Cayman Airways reservations on 949-2311. Contact a travel agent or book online at CaymanAirways.com.
Excuse me, I noticed you from afar.
Really? Me?
Well, not you. The KFC sandwich you're eating?
Oh, Zinger.
Sorry, I'm not trying to be funny.
No, it's called the Zinger Sandwich. Crunchy, juicy, 100% chicken breast, crisp lettuce, sweet mayo on a seeded bun with a little zing. KFC's chicken is not factory-breaded, frozen and refried like the Burger Boys. Customize your KFC Zinger and dip it in barbecue sauce.
Wow, now I'm starting to notice you too.
KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz, the business topics that matter, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment. Business Buzz.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz, keeping the spotlight on Life Cayman. I'm pleased to have in studio, telling us more about this organization, Miss Marilyn Connolly, who is Executive Director of Literacy is for Everyone. That's the acronym that we're calling LIFE. Yes, so if you're wondering what's LIFE, it's Literacy is for Everyone. Miss Marilyn Connolly in studio with me, telling us more. Let's go straight into Partners in Print. Tell us about Partners in Print program. its intent, and your partnership with the Ministry of Education.
Well, when we look at our partnerships in the community, when we look at what are the gaps that can enhance a child's literacy level, one key element of that, yes, is partnership with the ministry, the policymakers, yes, partnerships with the teachers, partnerships with the community. Mm-hmm. But the key element of this partnership is with parents. Parents are such an important element of a child's education generally and literacy specifically. As a matter of fact, some studies show that the most important indicator of a child's success is parental involvement. Mm-hmm. And we have seen that in our own community where, yes, some children may have gone to rundown schools or not high quality, but if their parents are at that PTA meeting and always involved, always talking to the teachers, always asking questions, the poverty level that child might be living in, and back then, a lot of us didn't realize that we were living with less, but the levels that we were brought up in almost don't matter as much because our parents are involved. We knew that if we did anything at school, our parents would find out because the teacher would tell them or they would ask the teacher. So that connection between home and school was vital in the many attempts to keep us straight growing up and to keep on top of our academics as well. Yeah. So parents are a really, really key component of a child's education, and we recognize that. But we also recognize that like myself as a parent, sometimes you don't know what you don't know.
It's true.
And there are methods to reading with your child that we know would be very, very helpful for parents to be exposed to learn about. So that's what Partners in Print does. We actually pay teachers to stay after school 3 evenings a year. And they can expand it if they want. To
3 evenings a year or week?
3 evenings a school year.
Okay.
So between September and June, for Key Stage 1, the youngest group children, or by year group, if a teacher wanted to run Partners in Print for year 1 and year 2, for example, it's only 3 sessions long, and they might do it 3 Tuesdays in a row in the first term. And invite the parents of those year 1 and year 2 students to come along to the school. And each of the 3 nights, they will focus on different topics related to encouraging their children to read or how to get their children to read. And, we provide free books for every child who is in attendance. So even if you have 4 children and only 2 are in year 1 and year 2, the others can get a book as well. And we partner with PTAs and the schools to make sure that refreshments are also provided. So it's a 3-way, it's the schools, the Parent Teachers Association, the PTA, the parents themselves, and Life. And that we all come together in partnership to learn on how to best support children. I have to say, some schools are giving out certificates at the end of the 3-night sessions, and the children love to see their parents get certificates. Yes, you do bring your children along with you. You don't have to worry about dinner. Food is provided, a book is provided, and they are guided throughout the night on different topics on how to help their children.
Initiative.
So it's about parents going back to school and learning a little something. I attend. You're never too old to learn, and there's always something that you can learn. And I really enjoy attending the sessions because I always learn something as well.
Great. Now, what can be done over the summer holidays to avoid summer slide?
Summer slide, again, parental involvement is key. And when children leave school, the books are down. They don't have to wake up so early in the morning anymore. They're happy they don't have to do this homework or that homework, and sometimes parents are happy too. They don't have to be sitting down helping with that. However, what has been found is that if children do not upkeep some of these skills, they will slide back on the information that they've learned during that school year.
Right.
So it's important, if you want to really keep that investment that those teachers have made in your child and that you have made in your child, that you continue to feed that investment over the summer so that the children are ready to go again in September. Now, that does not mean massive amounts of homework. It can be very simple things like 10 minutes a day of read aloud. The benefit of reading with your child 10 minutes a day is they get to snuggle up with you. And you get to have them snuggle up with you before they're too old to leave your house.
And they don't want that snuggling anymore.
Exactly. So 10 minutes a day, reading with your child, or getting the child to read for 10 minutes a day. Now, I would be happy to point everyone in the direction of the Cayman Islands Public Library Service. The library is running a reading challenge over the summer. Again, we love to promote other organizations that encourage literacy. So they have fantastic prizes. Take your child to the public library. If they don't have a library card, sign them up to get a library card. Have them take their little booklet, pick out some books, and participate in the Summer Reading Challenge. Go to any library on island. And Georgetown Library is easy to gain access to as well, right by the bus stop in town. And they can participate in that and put their names up for some wonderful prizes. But some children will also have, say, RazKids accounts from school, some online accounts, and they can do that as well for a few minutes a day. For older children, I have had, some of my older children reluctantly write journals. If you're going on a trip, you might write a journal every day. At the end of the day, write one page on what you did, and it can't just be "I had fun." Or even if you're staying here, you can journal on a regular basis. Or if parents really want to get involved, they can read the same chapter book the child is reading and discuss the chapter
what is read
at the end of the day. And that is a much fuller experience for the child.
Both of you have been on that journey together.
Yes. So I would encourage all of those parents who participated in Partners in Print at all of our primary schools. We had an increase, if I have some numbers right here. In 2018, we had 133 parents attend. Because of the great partnerships with the teachers and schools, this year we had 559 parents attend our Partners in Print sessions. So of the 651 parents that have done Partners in Print, you know those reading strategies, you have the paperwork at home. If not, reach out to me. Since the schools are closed, 10 minutes a day. Just that's all it takes. 10 minutes a day.
So how can people get more information on Life?
Well, you can please sign up, like our Facebook page. It's Life Cayman, and just put that in search and like us and follow us. They can contact me at volunteer@life.org.ky. If you have books to donate, you can contact us at books@life.org.ky.
Okay. Now, let's talk about what are the benefits acquiring strong literacy skills can do for a person's career.
There is a deep shame that surrounds many adults, I can't say all, many adults who don't know how to read. And it is not a shame that is developed in adulthood. It is a shame that is developed in childhood. When that child is 10 years old and struggling in class, or doesn't have the resources and doesn't have the support at home to identify these issues, and then they begin to develop coping strategies around the fact that they don't know how to read. That is compounded when they go to high school, and you sometimes see that in behavioral issues. If a child cannot read at 16 and you're asking them to read aloud in a classroom, what do you think that child is going to do?
They're going to act out.
Absolutely. And oftentimes in a way that is so loud or violent or abrasive that it overrides the fact that they were being asked to read aloud. Or can't do an exam. How many children have just sat exams and stared at a piece of paper, or pretended to write something, look around, and then stared at that piece of paper again? It breaks my heart to think about all of those children who have to develop those coping mechanisms, who feel they have to act out in order to avoid the shame
that comes with it,
that comes with illiteracy. And when people become adults, they might, accept the fact that they don't know how to read and find other ways to cope with their career. But it comes up over and over again from the children leaving high school who've just graduated, over 500 children just graduated high school.
Yes.
How many of them can put together a proper resume? How many of them can actually articulate what they want to say? How many of them have these skills, these very basic skills to survive in the workplace, and we're doing them an injustice. And I say I'm not pointing the finger at any one agency. Yes, the Ministry of Education, the Education Department, schools, they are primarily responsible, but we as a community are also responsible for upholding those standards. So strong literacy skills allows adults to be able to, or young adults in particular, to be able to communicate to a potential employer what they want to do, how they want to do it. It allows them to read information at the workplace, to digest it, to comprehend it, to be able to analyze it and give their own perspective on it, as opposed to just sitting at a desk thinking, what have I gotten myself into? And how do I get myself out of it?
So long gone are the days for one to assume that a child is acting out because they're coming from a bad home or they're just rude.
Exactly.
There could be a deeper.
Well, absolutely. And I'm one of those people that believe children are born good. And it's we as a community, as a society that
fail them.
Absolutely. Every child is born good. I don't like anyone around me saying that that child is a bad child. No, the child is not a bad child. The environment that the child was raised in is bad. And, as a quick side note, I sat on the parole board for almost 4 years, along with some very wonderful people. And we all saw the link between illiteracy, and where they were right then and there, but also the many points in the child's life that they could have been helped. And where either they didn't get any help or they received insufficient help. So things like learning disabilities with young children, those need to be identified early. Whether a child is dyslexic, the child might not, I don't even like to repeat these words that we call children. Rude, bad, stupid. It's offensive to me because it means we have not taken the time to find out
why.
What is going on with that child.
Yes. Yeah. Now, does Life offer any programs to assist adult learners who may wish to learn to read?
We have received several queries. We have looked into a couple programs, but not at this time. It is something on our to-do list, something that we realize that a gap that we need to fill in the community. So we hope to have something in the very near future. For now, what we're realizing, because of the statistics I mentioned earlier, is that we need to fix the problem with our younger children and stem the tide all the way through school, because we have children in front of us right now that we can help. Let's help those children and stem the tide. If we can help the education system to be fixed at that stage, then we can then focus on other elements. And with the new curriculum coming into play in September, with all of the wonderful changes that the ministry and the department have in store, with the increased support that we're seeing being provided, with all of those factors, and with life support in the education system, we're hoping that these things will make a big difference.
Okay. Now, if someone would like to donate books to your organization, are you open to that idea?
Absolutely.
I have a smile or a big grin on my face for a reason.
Absolutely. We love books. That's the long and short of it. We love books. And I have to give a massive shout out to our book donations programs coordinator, Erin Galatopoulos, who is an absolutely awesome volunteer. She has taken on this project from day one and has turned it into a fantastic success.
Excellent.
And Erin is not one of those volunteers that just talks and comes along for some other purpose. Erin loves books. She believes in life, and she's made it a success. We have, by the end of the school year, I'm very happy to say, donated over 20,000 gently used or new books to the government school system.
Wow, congratulations to you.
Thank you so much. It's a lot of hard work for Erin and her team of volunteers. I haven't forgotten those other volunteers out there that help to sticker books and clean books and sort books. including my own little ones at home who are recruited into putting stickers on books. They have to learn it from home, right?
Right. Charity begins there.
Exactly. But book donations are not just given to schools. It's done in a very strategic way. So, some people might just think a book donation, you take, 20 books from home and you drop it off at a school and the teacher will find some use for it. And that is true. The teacher will find some use for it because they're very, very resourceful people who are teachers in our system. But what we do is, if you give the books to us, we will clean them, we will cover any dedications, we will make sure they're classroom quality. And we will make sure that they go to the teachers in the schools that need it most.
Okay.
And we will give them the books at the levels that they want to keep in the classroom, at interest level, but the reading level that they want to have in the classroom as well. Some teachers might have a special request for, the full set of Diary of a Wimpy Kid or whatever it is, We believe any book is a good book for a child to read. So we have Captain Underpants, and whatever we can use to get children to read, Fly Guys, whatever it is. So we do get special requests from teachers all the time. And Erin and her team are, put together the books.
Excellent.
Right now we have 11 boxes of books that we're working with the Department of Education to send over to Brack. So we do work very closely with Brack schools as well to provide books that they need.
For what? You're in tune to Radio Cayman's Business Buzz, keeping the spotlight on Life Cayman and speaking with Miss Marilyn Connolly. We're going to take a final break for the morning. When we come back, we'll hear about International Literacy Day, texting affecting teen literacy and their communication skills, tips to improve reading, and we'll get some information on any upcoming events. Keep it locked to the Business Buzz for more after these few messages.
I'm Michael Webster.
And I'm Denise Brown of Cayman Insurance Center.
Family is not the most important thing, it's everything.
And for 45 years, we have worked with the community and their families on protecting themselves for the future.
Whether it's providing top-rated life insurance
or protecting your family's household investment.
From our family to yours, we understand and we care.
I'm Denise Brown. Call me at 814-7229.
And I'm Michael Webster at 925-5433.
We are Cayman Insurance Center,
specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services at an affordable rate. We are Michael and
Denise at Cayman Insurance Center.
Call today.
At Kirk's Home Center, we can make your life much better. We got it all together. We got a great deal in store for you.
This week at Kirk Home Center. Looking to do some home repairs and renovations? Get it done with Black & Decker's 4-piece tool combo kit. A drill, jigsaw, sander, and LED flashlight for $119.99. Save on a 10-piece kitchen cookware set for $99.09. Make tea time a breeze with a Hamilton Beach 1.8-liter kettle for $29.09. And use the right size every time with a 6-bag variety Ziploc set for $22.99.
Kirk's Home Center. We got a great deal.
89.9 Radio Cayman helps you to weather the storm during this hurricane season.
One of the most crucial elements of hurricane preparedness is storm awareness. During the season, it is of utmost importance to pay attention to the latest local weather forecast, as hurricanes do not suddenly form or strike. There are various methods of advanced notification. Utilizing such may be the difference between a favorable outcome and disaster. Both television and radio serve as excellent mediums with up-to-the-minute storm path information in the wake of a hurricane. Another method of tracking a hurricane may be only arm's length away. Your smartphone or tablet can be your most valuable tool before, during, and after a storm, providing countless numbers of apps with crucial hurricane information. Many apps allow you to track storms with moving radar and satellite imagery, plus offer alerts, current conditions, forecasts, advisories, and even video.
This hurricane preparedness tip was brought to you by your community radio station, Radio Cayman 89.9 FM.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz, the business topics that matter, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment. Business Buzz.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz right here on Radio Cayman. Continuing my conversation with Miss Marilyn Connolly, Executive Director of Literacy Life is for everyone, right here on Radio Cayman. And it's very informative, understanding the importance of reading. I know some parents may be all caught up, and during the school year, your kids come home with these books and this log that you have to read. And they may say, oh, yeah, just do it, and you nod off. Or it doesn't seem that you have that interest. It's not that you don't, but there's so much things going on.
Yes.
But when you boil it down to the bottom, how important reading is as a key foundation to a child's, and this goes on to them being adults. This is why we're having that question and having the request of even adults coming to you needing assistance to help them read.
Yes.
I hope that this interview will draw that out of some of our, as parents, to take the time to be with your children and to encourage them to read.
The truth is, we're tired, right?
Yes.
Isn't that the case? We're just plain tired some of the times. And with everything that, mothers, I can only speak for myself as a mother, you feel you have to do at the home. It's like your fourth or fifth job, right? Yes. But really, it's your first job. But sometimes we are tired. But that little snuggle time at the end of the day with your little one makes all the difference. That 10 minutes of snuggle time makes all the difference. You don't have to read a lot, because what we find is that connection begins to have positive associations with reading in your child's mind. Yes, it's about the reading, but it's also about the positive associations, the connection, the positive feelings around reading a book. Because when that child grows up, the adults listening to me right now, you will know that if you think about reading or think about a book, there's something associated with that. Either you were forced to do it and it was very unpleasant, or you have positive memories of sitting in a quiet space or snuggled up with someone that you cared about. So there are always memories associated with reading, and that helps to create a positive environment around reading.
Now, International Literacy Day is coming up.
Yes.
Can you share us some information on that?
Yes. We like to celebrate International Literacy Day every year in partnership with the schools. It is a very busy time of year for schools. September 8th is International Literacy Day, and teachers are usually absolutely swamped with getting stability in the classroom, getting everyone settled in, beginning their lesson plans. But wherever we can, in whatever way, we try to partner to celebrate International Literacy Day. We ourselves don't put on a big event. In all of our programming, we try very much not to disrupt the school time. We work according to the school schedule. So even if people want to volunteer and they come to us and say, oh, we have an entire day that our staff want to volunteer, well, I have to make sure that works with the schools. Right. So I'm sort of the broker, because sometimes if you go to schools, they don't want to tell you no, because they like to get readers in and help. But we are very mindful that they have an exam coming up in 2 weeks, or they're ending a particular module, and we work with the teachers and for the teachers.
Let's talk a little bit about texting.
Yes.
How is texting or text messaging affecting teen literacy and other aspects of their life?
Well, that is a question that I think we won't see full answers to for another few years yet, as we're just beginning this texting culture. But you do see it manifested in, examination papers and essays. People are using shorthand to write because people write how they think. Yeah. And if you text a lot, that becomes how you think. So you're seeing it manifested in schools, and it's something that we really need to be aware of. Literacy is more than just a verbal communication. It is a written communication as well. And that is another focus of the changes in the new curriculum that ministry is working on, which we love to see that. Writing is an important aspect of literacy, which is why I mentioned maybe getting them to do some journaling as well. When we write, we are essentially putting our thoughts on paper, and someone can read our minds by reading our writing. And so it's really, really an important component. It's an important component of literacy. We can talk about smartphone use generally and how that affects literacy. It's a tool like anything else. It can be helpful. but everything in moderation,
Yes.
right? And if you find that your child has an addiction, addiction to the cell phone, you might want to look at yourself, as we all have to do, and say, did that addiction come from me? Am I addicted to my cell phone? Do I put it down when I go home? Do they see me on it all the time? If they catch me, do they have permission to say to me, Mummy, you're on your cell phone a little too much. Can you put it down, please? What are we modeling at home with texting and cell phone use? Because they are children in our care. So if they do it too much, it is because we allow them to do it too much. And it's not easy to hear, but it is a part of our parenting.
Yes.
And sometimes, there's always something that we think, oh my gosh, I let that get out of control. I need to pull it back now. And that's what that is. Texting it by itself is fine. It's like a dialect in many ways, right?
That's true.
It's how they communicate with each other as friends. But as long as they know how to speak standard English, just like with a patois or dialect, as long as you know how to speak standard English, then great, now you can speak two languages.
Yes.
The language of texting and the language of proper English.
That's right. Now, what are some simple and effective ways to help students build their reading skills?
The simplest way is to get them to read and to sit with them while reading. There are games that you can play as well, phonics games, but really and truly the simplest way is practice, like anything else, like exercise.
Make it a part of a routine.
Yes, on a regular basis. It's like physical exercise. As long as you do a little bit every day, it's like learning a new language, 10 minutes every day. Anything that you do regular for short periods of time, you're building on. So that same 5-10 minutes a day encourages them to read. It also lets them know that it's important to you, and you are setting those expectations when it comes to literacy. And children look at our expectations around that. Take them to the library, read signs with them. Talk to them about things. Have a conversation about what you see. That sign says stop and that sign says give way.
What is the difference between?
What's the difference?
Yeah.
Whatever it is, have a conversation with children about the world around them that they're seeing and reading.
Interesting facts. Are there sponsorship opportunities if companies would like to lend their support?
Absolutely. We take time, talent, and treasure. The 3 T's. We have some wonderful sponsors. I'm almost hesitant to begin naming because I don't want to not name someone. We work in close partnership with companies like KPMG, who provide a lot of readers to us and a lot of support. Companies like Walkers, who've donated us money to buy literacy intervention kits in the school, which we monitor. Companies like DART, that's also supported us. So we have, and again, there's so many more companies that either donate a small check, and no check is too small, or a larger check. Absolutely treasure. We will take treasure and we will put that to very good use, but we also take time. If you have a volunteer day and you want to read at the schools at a particular time, it's not necessarily as immediately fulfilling as seeing a beach cleaned up.
Right.
And that is necessary. But it makes a difference for the children in the school as well, especially to the eastern districts where we don't get a lot of volunteers like East End and North Side and Bodentown. So I would encourage that. But also talent. We've had companies like Conyers help us out with talent. Our wonderful IT person, who works there, who gives us the support that we need. I am the only employee of Life. So we are very much looking to expand the fantastic work that we're doing. And so we do need treasure to support the hiring of new employees to build our program outreach into the community as well. So
let's hope by ways of this medium that the word will get out there.
Absolutely.
And then how can persons get additional information on Life Cayman and your programs?
Sure, they can email volunteer@life.org.ky. If you have gently used books, you can drop them off at mailboxes, etc. in Cayman Bay, who have graciously allowed us to do that, or contact me at books@life.org.ky. You can also call 938-6300. And you can find us on Facebook, like us, follow us, and see what we're up to in the community. And also go to Refuel this month. They're donating 2 cents of every gallon sold to Life. So and support organizations like the Y that we support. Literacy is our why. Anyone out there who wants to partner with literacy, it really is the foundational building block for our children's success, and we are happy to work with you to make sure our children are successful.
Any upcoming events?
We do not have any upcoming events. As I said, I'm the only employee, so unfortunately we don't have a strong focus on events or event planning or major fundraising events. My focus has been very much on programs in the community and working with the schools. However, if anyone out there would like to support us by having a fundraising event for us, we would love to work with you in any way that we can. Once we're beyond one employee and we're at that stage of growth now, we would love to do more events. But for right now, if you think that you can throw a fantastic, fun fundraising event for us, please do reach out.
Okay, Miss Marilyn, thank you so much for allowing us to put the spotlight on life. We want to wish you and all your volunteers and all those corporate sponsors and sponsors alike, all the best, because without the community support and corporate support, organizations like yours cannot be sustained.
And I'd like to thank Woody Foster, the chair of the board, for his wonderful guidance and dedication to literacy. You know, he's passionate about
Yes, he is.
Passionate about that. And to all of our wonderful board members as well and supporters in the community. Literacy is indeed for everyone, so help us make it happen. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It is a pleasure. All the best to you and your team. Radio Cayman's Business Buzz is proudly sponsored by Cayman Medical Supplies. Give them a call, 949-6211. And also Cayman Insurance Center, celebrating 45 years in the Cayman Islands, specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services. We want to thank our producer, Susan, who also manning the boards, and to you, our loyal listeners, thank you for your continued support. Until Thursday, have a safe and fabulous Tuesday.
From district to district, moving through the waters to Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Your station, your voice. All things Cayman. One radio, many people. This is home.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.